Hey guys, what's up? Tori here. So, for this video, I want to just kind of bring up my so far journey to having gastric sleeve. From here on out, I'm going to make occasional videos just kind of about the journey and talking about just kind of different things. And it'll just be every once in a while. It won't be terribly often, but I kind of want to just share that journey with you guys more. So for this video, I'm going to talk about the process leading up to having surgery. And about how long the process can take, and about all that's involved, and that kind of thing. Now, keep in mind that the process could be different depending on your insurance company, depending on your doctor's office, and what your surgeon wants you to do, and that kind of thing. It could be different for you, just depending. For me, I'm just going to talk about how things kind of went for me. So, my very first appointment was... My very first doctor appointment ever was, well, not ever, but anyways. My first doctor appointment I had was actually just with my regular family care doctor, because my insurance, the way my insurance works is I have to get a referral from my family care doctor to whatever specialist it is I want to see, if I want to see a specialist. So I had to have a physical with my family care doctor, and I had that physical on May 11 of 2015. So I had that physical, and she referred me over to the bariatric surgeon, and, within a couple of weeks, the insurance company had cleared the referral and said that it was okay that I was referred over there. And, so then I had my very first appointment made. Actually, my first 3 appointments made. I had the very first appointment was a seminar. And also I met my surgeon and discussed things with him. And then the second appointment was with a dietitian. And then the third appointment was with a behaviorist. So, those appointments were all, I think the first appointment might have been towards the end of May. And then the other 2 appointments were at the beginning of June. So then the very first appointment I had, like I said, was a seminar, and also I met my surgeon one-on-one, and we talked about what choice I wanted to make regarding surgery and stuff like that. Basically, all the seminar is I went in this room, and there was maybe a total of like 10 of us in there in the seminar. And the surgeon that I have, he came in, and he basically just kind of went over the 3 different options for surgery that he does. He does either the gastric band, the gastric bypass, or the gastric sleeve. And he basically went over all 3 surgeries with us, what they all entail, and basically just went over how it all works, and the risks, benefits of each, and, how effective each is, and things like that. And he just basically went over everything that we needed to know. And then after the seminar was done, he met with each of us one at a time, just one-on-one, to discuss what our choice was regarding having surgery. And when he came in and talked with me, initially I was thinking I was going to be having the bypass, because that's just the one you always hear about. And he actually recommended to me to have the sleeve, just because of my age, and the sleeve is much less disruptive to a person's life and stuff, and he highly recommended I had the sleeve. So we discussed that, and the sleeve is what I chose to have. So that was that appointment. And then it was maybe a week or 2 later that I had an appointment with the dietitian. And basically that appointment just was so the dietitian could meet me and kind of talk about what my eating habits are, and kind of about how my eating habits will have to change, and kind of went over like a little bit about the post-op diet and the pre-op diet. The pre-op diet and the post-op diet, like she went over all of that stuff. Just kind of briefly a little bit kind of explained things, and went over some things that, I had to change. Like, she's like, you won't be able to drink pop anymore, you won't, and she said, you'll be cutting way back, and for a while you'll be on a liquid diet, just kind of going over things like that, and different things I needed to know. And it wasn't a very long appointment. It was maybe half hour total. I don't even know if it was that long. It was a really short appointment. And then I think it was the week after that, actually. It was either a week or 2 after that appointment. Then I saw a behaviorist, and the behaviorist basically just met with me to talk about where I am at mentally and emotionally, psychologically, that kind of thing. Just kind of to get to know me as a person, to kind of figure out, who I am and how it is I tick. I had this little like questionnaire I had to fill out and give her beforehand. Like I had to fill out before the appointment and give to her once I got there. And then she basically just went over things with me and to see, and how best it would be to help me psychologically and mentally and emotionally and all that, throughout the process, and is basically what she wanted to know. So and then I had another questionnaire thing I had to fill out, which that was the longest part of the appointment. It was like a 350 some questionnaire that I had to answer. It was ridiculous. It took me forever, and some of the questions were a little bit random and dumb in my opinion too, but whatever. It helped them kind of just figure out how best to help me progress in the journey and stuff, and which is really good because it is good to have that kind of support and stuff like that, and to be able to know how it is best to go through the situation. So then after those appointments were made, I also had to have blood work done, and I had to have a medical clearance with my family doctor. So first you can basically do it in whatever order we could basically do it in whatever order you want. I had my blood work done right away to get my blood work just done, taken care of, so I wouldn't forget about it. So I just went into the hospital that is partnered with my doctor's office to go get the blood work done. I just went into the lab of the hospital and got my blood work done. And then my labs were back within a few days. It didn't take them that long to get my labs back. And then I also had to have a medical clearance with my family doctor, which basically is just to make sure that medically I was sound, like that my heart was good, would be strong enough for surgery, my lungs would be strong enough for surgery, all that kind of thing, all that stuff, just to make sure that physically I am okay to handle surgery. So at that doctor appointment, basically, I went in, and the main thing they wanted done is they wanted me to have an EKG done, which if you don't know what an EKG is, it basically is just to monitor your heart for like a couple minutes just to make sure that your heart is strong enough for surgery. So they just put like little sticky things on and monitored my heart for a couple of minutes, and then they were done. So that was basically all that I had done at that appointment. And she did a few other things like listen to my lungs and all that just to make sure my lungs were clear. And she checked my temperature and, all that snazzy stuff. So yeah, that basically was it for the medical clearance, just making sure I was medically okay for surgery. And then once all that was done, I got a call from my surgeon's office, and she said, well, looks like you've done everything on your list of things you need to get done, so now we can proceed to have you meet with your doctor to have a final decision appointment to schedule surgery and make sure all your questions are answered and that kind of thing. So that was a few weeks ago that I had that appointment, and I scheduled surgery for September 14. The reason that I scheduled it for that was just because of a vacation that I'm going on and stuff like that. It just worked better to schedule it a little later. And stuff like that, but they actually could have scheduled me for the end of July if I wanted, but that was like 2 weeks away from when I had my appointment to when that surgery date would be, and that was just too fast for me. I was like, I don't want to do it that quickly. I need time to prepare for this more and that kind of thing. So yeah, I didn't do it right away, but in total, the whole process could have taken me only like 2 months. Could have taken me only like 2 months, but for me, it's going to be like 3.5-ish months. Well, 4 months. Well, about 4 months in total is what it'll be for me, but it could have been sooner. I just chose a little bit later surgery date just to kind of prepare and stuff more. So that's why it took a little longer. So in total, it was about a 4-month process to get through everything I needed to get through and get done with everything I needed to get done with. And still before surgery, I'm going to have a pre-op appointment and stuff just to go over everything and fill out any last-minute paperwork and go over things with my dietitian and stuff like that. And then surgery, obviously. And then after surgery, there is a post-op appointment, too. That's like a couple weeks after surgery. So overall, the process has gone really quick. Now, it could be different for you because my insurance company technically actually likes to have people do like a 6-month diet program just as another attempt to lose weight. But because of my medical history and what my BMI was, like I've had a really high BMI, and because of my medical history and stuff like that, they didn't make me do the diet program. They cleared me for surgery and okayed me to have surgery. So I didn't have to do the 6-month diet program, but there is a chance you might have to do a 6-month diet program if that's what the insurance company wants you to do. So the process could be anywhere from, a couple of months to, I would say probably 2 months minimum, to up to 6 months, depending on what your insurance company wants, and probably also depending on what your what your surgeon wants you to do too. So that's basically what the process is like. It can go smoothly if your insurance company and stuff works with you nicely, but it could be a really bumpy process too if your insurance company doesn't work good with you. Honestly, a lot of it depends on what the insurance company wants you to do and how nice they choose to be to you regarding the process. I was lucky and they were really nice to me, and this process has been very, very smooth, but for other people it's much more rocky because they have a lot more hoops to jump through. And for me, I haven't had any major hoops to jump through, so it's been good, and I'm very grateful that, very blessed by that, and very thankful. And yeah, and I just gotta say too, there's also a support group that my bariatric surgeon's office does too, that people who have had the surgery, are going to be having the surgery, are 3 years post-op, all kinds of people in this different stages of this process go to the support group, and I've started going to that too, and it's really good to go to things like that. I highly recommend that, just to prepare yourself and talk with other people who are going through it too. So yeah, that's basically the process leading up to surgery, and my office has been amazing. They have been very helpful, and they have gotten me through very smoothly, and my insurance company just happened to be nice to me, like I said. So yeah, that's basically what I have for you. If you have any questions for me regarding the process leading up to having surgery, you can leave the questions down below, and I will be happy to answer them. And if you have any other questions regarding making the choice to have surgery too, you may gladly ask me, and I will try to answer them to the best of my abilities. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Love you guys so much, and also be sure to follow me on Instagram if you aren't already. I do post there pretty frequently as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.